Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the A to B podcast, your number one source for military entrepreneurship and entertainment. As always, I am joined by my co-host, Barry Bull. What's up, Barry?
What's up? I'm just on YouTube right now, a little page called the A to B podcast. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here.
Oh, you got to zoom on that one.
Yeah, come on. Look who we got right here. We got Master Guns. Subscribe to the channel, fam. Come on, share.
Let's go hit that like and share button, and make sure that you guys always subscribe. And we are here in the part 2 with Tristan King. Tristan, how you doing today, brother?
Doing amazing, brother. Thank you.
You ready to kick it?
Look at him. He's a handsome guy, but he's not single.
Yeah.
He is not single. You're not single?
Negative.
Okay.
Hey, don't try to get him in trouble there, Barry.
Dude, look at the chiseled jawline.
He does.
I see that advertisement all the time for the thing with like, you know, have you guys seen that? You know, do you use that?
No.
He never did. You just automatic, dude.
Just
Tristan,
right out of the womb.
His jawline has its own Instagram. And stuff. So if
hey
you
guys, make sure you guys go follow Tristan M. King _ jawline, okay, guys? There you go.
Might have to add that into the handle, you know?
That's why the scammers steal your pictures, man.
It has to be some reason. I mean, like, I can't, it must be that. It has to be the jawline.
Dude, I remember when I saw you on Instagram the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What was I doing?
Well, I mean, it was just like there was only a couple people. This was back in, 2019, 2018, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, there was only a couple of you guys. Mm-hmm. It was you. I remember you. I remember Koke, Yepes.
Okay, Yepes, yeah.
It's a couple others, yeah. It was a small community.
It was very small. Obviously, Nava the Beast.
Right.
Which, if you guys don't know who that is, Nava, he turned his whole thing into real estate. Yeah. Like, he's killing it in Texas.
Does he still have a brand? I haven't seen his page.
He still has his page.
Really? I think
he's still he's actually, I think he's got over 1 million followers now.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, but all he does is
real estate.
Is real estate now. But yeah, dude, I remember when I first saw you on Instagram and I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah, Nava, if you see this, I don't think you'll see this, but if you do see this, we need to talk. We definitely need to talk. But
that sounded forceful.
No,
is he in trouble?
Can we please have a conversation? No, that's it. You said forceful. I said please.
That softens the blow a little.
Yeah, that softens the blow. But anyways, in the first part of the podcast, we were talking with Tristan about his, his first 2 enlistments. He shared some very, very, very insightful information into what happens a lot with military service members that come from broken families, right? And how we continue that while we're in the military. And essentially, you know what is going to let us up to that and how to actually fix it and get better, which we discussed. It was personal development. Okay, guys? Now, in the second part, we're going to be talking about how is it that he actually transitioned from his last 2 duty stations into being a life and fitness coach. And again, how is it that he is absolutely killing it right now in that area? Okay, so Tristan, I got the first question.
Send it.
You're over here in Camp Pendleton, so you get stationed in 1st Recon Battalion, and then from there, you PCS into transportation. PCA. You did a PCA into Transportation Battalion.
Correct.
Okay. How was that experience?
Well, I mean, it was obviously a night and day difference between like parts of the Marine Corps, right? Going from, 1st Mar Div, Recon Battalion, very, very chill area, and then going to the MLG again, because that's where I was originally from. And yeah, man, it was obviously I had to get used to the Marine Corps again, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I did great though. I mean, as far as like I ended up winning NCO of the quarter there as well. Had a lot of good things. I was already in IT when I got there, so ran a couple MAI courses as well. But yeah, it actually started taking a turn, bro, because I ended up getting in trouble for an MAI course that I ran. They ended up doing a command investigation on this course because a few Marines got injured. The mishap reports, I guess they weren't in like as quick as they wanted them to be, even though there was no like foul play when it came to the injuries, really. It was like one of them fell off the rope and then just a couple of like random things. But yeah, they ended up opening up a PI and then it transitioned to a CI. and they were trying to get me for assault, fucking a bunch of crazy shit, man. And like,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
for
what
an MAI,
happened. I'm telling you.
So like, no, it was nuts, bro. They tried just destroying me, bro. Like,
Yeah, just in case, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, a PI is a preliminary inquiry, and it's basically to see if there's enough there. A lot of times you don't need to go to a CI. If you go to a CI, it's because they think there's something real serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Command investigation is a CI.
right. So yeah, they were trying to get me for assault. They had a couple videos that actually the corpsman had taken while I was there, and it was a couple sparring. I've actually posted it on my Instagram when I got out. Like, I mean, we were sparring. There was some headshots. Yeah, I mean, a lot of time the Marine was ducking into my punches and shit. And I was
because you were fighting.
Because I was fighting. I was sparring
you have
with
to,
them.
right?
Yeah,
You
and
have to.
we're wearing headgear, mouthpieces, gloves, groin pro, everything as far as like, the safety part, right? But yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to train Marines like for real. I wanted to train them, right?
Yeah.
And I'd go I'd never win 100% on them, but this video, got leaked out, and then they used that as like trying to get me for assault. Luckily, my command had my back, and they were, because the other command it was Ninth Com. They were sponsoring the course.
Ninth Crime.
I volunteered.
Damn,
yeah.
Ninth Crime.
Yep, I volunteered.
Shout out.
I volunteered to be the lead IT for the course, and yeah, at that point, like, dude, they fucked me, bro. They fucking they tried taking everything. They tried NJPing me and everything. Luckily, my command fought back on the NJP, but they ended up fucking taking my belt and everything, bro. Completely just stripped me down to a
Really?
tam belt again.
Really?
As a
Wow.
sergeant. Yeah, bro. Stripped me all the way back down to a tam belt. And, bro, at that point, like, my
Did you,
morale-
hold on, did you hurt some of the Marines?
I didn't hurt any Marines, no.
What the hell, man?
I
what
didn't
what
actually-
the hell are we doing? It's a course you're supposed to fight.
Literally.
Hey, shout out to Ninth Combo. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah, yeah. Womp, womp, wow.
Fucking Ninth Crime. Nah,
Damn it.
Fucking reputation.
Yeah, damn you.
Yeah, man.
Well,
So
this was back in
I'm
the day.
kidding.
We don't know. We don't know how the leadership
Yeah.
is now, right?
nah, it's
But-
crazy. I mean, I even told a couple of my buddies that I went to the course with, and one of the guys, he worked at the Mace at the time. I'll leave his name out, obviously, but he worked he was like, bro, are you serious? And he sent me another video. He was like, bro, my captain had us go out there and beat the dog shit out of these guys, like, and gave us literally authorization to do so, and way harder than what I was doing. And I was like, he was like, bro, that's fucking stupid. Like, I'm
How is
sorry,
there? I don't get it, and I'm sorry, it pisses me off because it's like, how is there no level head in the room to go? We're Marines, we fight.
Right.
Nobody got hurt.
I'm telling you, it's
it was a fight, and nobody got hurt.
No one got
Am I
hurt.
missing something here?
Literally.
MLG.
Like, I did not injure any Marine. Like, did not even leave a mark on him.
Even still, like,
Right.
dude, you ring your bell, whatever. It's a freaking MAI course.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's
Like,
the MLG. If they feel that they can get you for something, they're gonna try to get you for something, and it will goes because of the thing that I was saying in the first podcast. Is because some of those people, that some of those leaders, not all of them, okay? And again, I want to clarify something. There's more good leaders out there than what they are bad. But the problem is that nobody talks enough about the good ones, okay? And the bad ones are, unfortunately, the ones that actually leave a permanent scar or mark into a Marine's morale, into a Marine's perspective of the Marine Corps, and all of that stuff, okay? So I want to clarify something, because this was my experience also in the MLG. It was exactly that. Some people feel the need that, oh, well, we shouldn't be doing that. But again, it goes back to, well, we're Marines. Oh, yeah, but we're not in that part of the Marine Corps. Like in that part of the Marine Corps, it's
you're
like,
splitting hairs. at
you
that
will
point, bro.
never,
It's
like, you will never be in a position where you have to beat somebody.
At the end of the day, you want to potentially, you could be ending someone's career.
but they don't care.
They really don't.
Because here's the thing,
I
just like that video I did the other day. There's some BS two prior NJPs. Then it comes up for something that's also BS. Every first sergeant and sergeant major is going to be asking the question, why have we not begun the process for administrative separation? This Marine already has 2 NJPs. So, like, you could be losing your benefits. You could be getting kicked out. All over what? It's just like I say, dude, NJP is not the only answer, okay? It's not. If they were drinking, did anybody get hurt? Dump it out. Don't do it again. All right. If I catch you again, now it's a bigger problem. Hey, man, take it easy on the guys. Did you hurt anybody? No, nobody got hurt. We're all still deployable. Cool. Like,
you want to hear the crazy? Let me tell you a crazy ass story. Let me tell you.
Like, I don't care about Marines fighting.
Let me tell you this crazy ass story of how stupid the MLG is. Okay, whenever it comes to NJPs.
Yeah.
So, one of my Marines, I think he was 20. 20 or 19. He was underage drinking. Not to cover for underage drinking, but he was underage drinking in his barracks room.
But everybody underage
So
drinks.
he wasn't anywhere else. He was in his barracks room drinking. He overdrank, and then he was eating hot Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos. During the night, he rolled over and he threw up. Ooh. And then he was all red because of the flaming hot Cheetos. And then his roommate freaked out, thinking that this guy was vomiting blood, and he called the duty. The duty called the what is it? The SDO, right? No, not the SDO. The command, the CDO.
Oh, got
the
it.
CDO called the CDO, and the CDO called the ambulance. Just because of that, this Marine got NJP'd.
See, I'm sorry. I think that's stupid. I had a situation. I was a gunny. It was before the ball. I was the drill master for the ball. I had left the drill field. I don't remember year, 2, 3, whatever, right? And we had this Marine underage. This guy pre-flighted so hard, he was a mess. He's got his blouse. His blouse is unbuttoned.
Oh,
He's
God.
just trying to hang all over the colonel's wife. I said, get the freaking guy.
Oh, yeah,
He
that's
starts
his name.
throwing up in the back of the ballroom. I'm like, get this guy out of here. I said, get him up to his room. Get him up to his room. I said, listen, one of you is going to stay with them. All right, because I've had Marines and they died because they overdrank, they puke, they choke, they die. You're gonna stay there with the guy. You're gonna make sure he's not on his back, all that stuff, okay? And you guys are gonna rotate out so we can all have a good time. That was it. In the morning time, and this guy literally, he still hits me up from time to time because he never got in trouble. He ended up having a great career. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't got to do all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like some people forget. I understand we're Marines. We're supposed to do the right thing.
If you're from the West Coast.
But at the same time, we need to understand, man, that we're dealing with essentially like not even grown up adults, like people that are beginning their adult phases. And we're setting them
Well,
up.
yeah, but you always got these lieutenants and they're like, oh my gosh, first sergeant, what do we do? These guys drink. I don't know. What'd you do when you were a freaking freshman in college?
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go back and look at those videos. Huh? You know who you are.
So Tristan, getting back to you. How did that make you feel? You know, they stripped you from, because I know the hard work that it takes to even go to. I don't know the hard work that it takes to be a red tab, but I know the hard work that it takes to be a black belt. Just that.
Well, you went to the S3 and you just put on a sticky. I'm a black belt.
No, I had for the record, I had my black belt way before I hit the S3. Okay, but
As long as there was an IT present when you got your black belt, then it's legit.
Yes,
Yes.
there was an IT present. I think I still remember his name. His name was Staff Sergeant Boyd from my deployment. Whenever I did the 11th Mu. So shout out to Staff Sergeant Boyd.
Yeah.
Anyways, so how did that make you feel, man?
Demoralized, bro. I mean, completely demoralized. Even my first sergeant at the time, he was like apologizing to me that he even had to do it. He was just the fucking messenger, you know what I mean? And he was just like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I mean, this is shitty. Like, I don't even agree with it, but, you know, and it is what it was. I mean, yeah, dude, I started coping bad at that point, bro. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I refused to put on the fucking tan belt. Like, I mean, I still wore my fucking belt. I didn't give a shit. I was like, nah, dude, like, you don't have to take this off my dead body. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, unless there was like a urinalysis or something like that, I'd fucking play the game. I'd throw the tan belt on just so no one said shit. But like, I just couldn't do it, bro. I was just like, nah, bro. Like, I cared so much about that fucking program, dude. Like, I put everything into it, like, and you know, for just one little thing like that, for them to just take it all and just disregard.
You're doing what
everything
you're
else.
supposed to do in the course.
Right? No, seriously, dude. Like, they were just like out to get me. It was obvious, but whatever. I mean, and I played the victim for a long time. You know what I mean? Like,
Why do you feel they were out to get you?
Dude, I don't know. I really have no idea. I mean, it was a different unit. I didn't know them, like, and my unit wasn't sponsoring the course, so I don't know if it was just like, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you, bro, but it was just very obvious that they were like, fuck this guy, he's going down, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that my unit fought
Who
back.
did the CI and the PI? Ninth Com?
Who's Ninth Com, yeah.
Okay.
Ninth Com.
So just so you guys are aware, so Tristan's in a different unit at the time. Mm-hmm. First TSB,
Yep.
and you got Ninth Com. Okay, so what that would have had to have looked like is Ninth Com initiating this stuff. Then it would have had to have gone from Sergeant Major and CO to Sergeant Major and CO. And the tricky part about it is Ninth Com could not have forced First TSB to do anything.
Right.
They couldn't have, Ninth Com has no influence. They have no influence. Now maybe they could have went higher. Let's say I go to the first TSB CO and Sergeant Major, and they're like, screw you. Tristan's good to go in our book, whatever. And then they take it up to who's the next higher.
The CG.
Okay.
No, it'll probably be it'll probably be the MLG,
The
like
colonel,
the
right?
MLG headquarters, yeah.
And that may have been a conversation, and maybe your battalion commander was like, look, we're not going to NJP him. We'll throw you a bomb. Who knows, right?
That's pretty much how it went. So they fought back the NJP, and I got a 6105 for fucking, whatever it was, and then
Which in the Mortar T community is 6105.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty much a career. I'm sorry.
I know it fucks
It's
you,
a-
but
it's a career
it's
ending.
actually really funny, bro. So like I ended up getting. So this leads into my second alcohol related incident because I was coping with alcohol like bad, bro. I was just like drinking. I just was miserable. Like, I mean, I thought my entire career was done at that point. And I lost my drill instructor orders for the second time at that point.
Damn.
Lost them the first time because of an alcohol related incident. And that was when I got arrested in 2019. And that was when
What
the
was
first
that
recall.
ARI?
Oh, that was a drunk argument I got with my ex.
Oh, so,
Yeah,
so
so
this
we
was
just,
all
like-
going on at the same time that
No,
you were still going on with your ex.
Yeah, so I mean that's like all mixed up. So like 2019, I had just graduated the IT course, right?
Okay.
And I came back, we had gone out drinking, whatever, and I don't know, she fucking left and she was like mad about something, and I ended up like getting locked out of my house. So like I went back with my buddy, and I just tried to sleep at his place, and I had just gotten a brand new truck at the time, right? And I was just trying to pass out there. She was like blowing me up, saying like, fucking, I'm going to drive off with your truck, all this shit. So I was like, no, fuck that. And I like took an Uber back there, and I was locked out of my apartment complex at that point. And it was raining, and I just got really mad. And I mean, I had a temper. I really did. And like, I didn't handle the situation well at all because I was still under the influence and fucking locked out of my apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we were like, fucking broke each other's phones and fucking like just breaking shit, just like it was just a disaster.
Was she violent as well?
Yeah, we were both violent. It was like I mean nothing crazy. Like I mean, no one was hurt. No one was seriously hurt, but it was just like,
Was it like physically abusive?
I'd say it was getting there. It was like borderline, but like no, but yeah, it was just toxic, bro. It was just like all bad. Like all bad. And but yeah, no, so the police, I mean, multiple people called the cops, and they showed up, and I just kind of said what I needed to say, kept it low key. But somebody's got to go to jail. Obviously, it's going to be the 200-pound dude. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I went to jail. And, they dropped the entire case. So after it hit the district attorney, she turned down the case. So I got a turn down letter. And because the Marine Corps pretty much left it up, it happened out in town. So it was like in San Diego, the city of San Diego. So yeah, the Marine Corps didn't touch it. I mean, I had an MPO in place like until everything was finalized, and then that was that. And
So you couldn't go home.
so I couldn't go home. No.
Was the MPO against your children as well?
No. That wasn't even the same. Not even the same woman. No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Separate marriage.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
So
separate
that was-
marriage. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
So that was put in place. But yeah, that got dropped and then went on. But I still coped with alcohol. And that point. Second time I got a fucking 5150, and this was right after this whole MAI course shit went down, right? So I was still pending all that. The CI was in place, all this shit. I was thinking my career was done, right? And yeah, man, I just coped with alcohol bad and ended up like blacking out drunk. And like I had my best friend at the time there at my apartment, and like, you know, some other people like family and stuff. And dude, I don't even remember what the fuck happened, dude. I just like flipped it. Like we were like going over, I was like teaching him some martial arts or something from like McMap, and like,
Wow.
yeah, and it was just, I shouldn't have been doing that when I was that blacked out drunk. You know what I mean? I got triggered, something happened, and I just fucking freaked out. And like,
So you
next
started
thing,
breaking
like,
shit, or do you
oh, I
got
tried to.
physical
I
with it?
got physical with him. I tried to like kill him. I think, dude. Like, I mean, I went fucking ham. Like, fucking, yeah. His girlfriend like fucking started hitting me, and like it was nuts, dude. Like, it was just a
Wow.
disaster. Like, and that's when I fucking really had to learn, bro. Alcohol has no place in my life, dude. Like, it just doesn't. Like, you know, I'm sitting here like just thinking that I have control, but I'm completely powerless over that shit at that point. And my life is obviously completely unmanageable, and that's the first step to AA. You know what I mean? Is like admitting that you're powerless over alcohol and your life has become unmanageable. And that was definitely me at that point. I was like, bro, I'm like so fucked. And like the only glimpse of hope that I had at that point was, you know, from my sponsor, who told me like, hey man, everything's going to be okay. And I went sober and I started working the steps, and I was, you know, doing everything I needed to do, making the amends and doing the inner work, going to therapy, everything. And, you know, so I'd gotten that 6105 I told you about. My unit really did hook me up with this, right? So I got 16105 for 2 events, right? They put the McMap incident and the alcohol related incident on 16105 for me. So I got 16105 for 2 separate events. So that was probably
Which is
the best
actually
case
correct.
scenario. Is it? Okay, I didn't
It
even
is,
know
yeah.
that.
And so a lot of times what'll happen is, and I've dealt with this a lot, all known, whatever you want to call it, offenses must be adjudicated at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so what does that mean? That's why a lot of times your command is trying to get things done in a hurry, right? If they sit on it, they take, let's say you go out, you do something, you get a DUI, okay, or maybe something less serious, I don't know, whatever, but you're pending
Right.
an NJP,
Right.
right? And they have an NJP'd you, you do something else, that charge has to be added. They can't like, oh, we're going to NJP you a week later for this other thing. So, yeah.
That makes sense. That
Now,
makes sense.
I do have this question because it was hovering around my mind. Was there anything that could have prevented this destructive behavior that you were having? Now, let's say, for example, you are Staff Sergeant King. Did this happen while you were a staff
No,
sergeant?
I was a sergeant at this
You were a
time.
sergeant.
Mhm.
Okay, so wow, you got promoted. Even
I
with
got
that.
promoted, dude, like 3 months after all that I got selected.
Wow. Okay, so let me. Was there anything? But man, it's just I got so many questions right now. But was there anything that, let's say, me as Gunny Ramos could have told Sergeant Tristan, like, hey man, come here, dog. Like let's talk, man. Like, what's going on? Did you have anybody that did that? And would have it changed anything?
At the time, not really, no. I mean, the unit I was at, everyone was just fucking worked to the bone. Like, I mean, we were working, easily 12 to 16 hour days every day. And that was most of the time we were there. I mean, that's how that unit was. So yeah, I didn't really have that, no. I still was seeing my therapist at the time. So that was really the only outlet that I had.
Was this military or?
Military, yeah.
Okay.
So it was at Family Advocacy. I was seeing at FAP, yeah. So I was seeing her there. But yeah, no, that was pretty much my only outlet that I had. And
So nobody, are you saying that nobody actually reached out? But like, how were you looked at when all these things were happening? Because obviously, man, like me as a leader, if I see a destructive pattern in one of my junior Marines, I'm setting him, like I'm putting him aside because, brother, I know you're going through some shit. You know, it is my job as a leader to know that you're going through some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is also my job as a leader to enable you to get better, however that looks like, for you to get better so that way you can be 100% because you're an asset. As a sergeant, you're an asset to the organization. Not just the shop. You're an asset to the Marine Corps. Specifically
100%.
you that you were looking at the MAI and all that stuff. Like you were doing all that extra billets that really you didn't have to do
Right.
with all the shit that you were going through. But I guess, you know, how were you looked at in your shop when all this stuff was going on?
I mean, they always somewhat, I guess, because I had just won NCO of the quarter like a couple months before that. You know what I mean? So like I was like at one point, like probably one of the most respected sergeants there. And then at that point, like, I mean, like, no one really like treated me shitty or anything like that, but like, you
I
could
mean, if
tell
you're a
just
200-pound fucking 5'9" guy,
yeah, no, I
how
mean,
tall are you? 5'9" or 5'10"?
5'9", yeah,
Yeah,
5'9".
5'9" guy. I wouldn't want to
5'10"
fuck with you either.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I was just like, no, they were. It obviously changed, and I ended up getting hooked up. So they moved me over to become the battalion. What was it? The UTC, Unit Transition Coordinator. So I just dealt with Marines going to TRS or whatever, and then I got selected, picked up staff while I was there, and then yeah, they gave me that billet. Honestly, because I feel like they just didn't want to deal with me at that point. I was going through so much shit and like doing all my personal shit. It was the best spot for me. So in a way, they looked out for me by putting me in that spot.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. You think it was something like they were trying to look out for you? Like, man, this guy.
Yeah,
we need to pull him over to the side, or is it?
I think it was more along those lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I volunteered for the spot because the other Marine was leaving, but yeah, so I stepped up, and I feel like they gave it to me because.
Did you already know you were getting out of the Marine Corps at this point?
I was still up in the air about it, but at that point, yes. By the time I took that spot, I was like, I mean, my business was already, established, and I was doing all that. So yeah, I started my coaching business in February of 2021 while I was obviously still active duty, and I'd still intended on going DI, doing all this shit, which now, I mean, looking back, everything happened, and there's a silver lining to it too. Is like all the time, like. I've been able to establish myself much better today due to the fact that I didn't make those career moves and, wouldn't have had the time to do everything that I am doing.
So let me ask you a question. Are you still sober?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what year, month, and year? I don't know how closely you track your sobriety. Do you remember when that was? When you were like?
So I've relapsed a couple times since I first started my sobriety journey. But I first went sober in May of 2021. Went almost an entire year, and then at that point I was going through my divorce or whatever, and I just lost it for a little bit. And never as bad as I was, but I got complacent. That's what happened. And
here's what I'm picking up right here. Okay, Tristan is a very successful guy. Divorce, you're not getting to see your kids.
Right.
Alcohol, trouble at work. Okay, battling with sobriety, all these things, but you turn it into this success story. How do you do that? You're like, what do you just out of the nowhere? You're like, I'm going to launch a business.
I mean, dude, I don't know.
Because that's what people kill themselves for.
No, 100%.
Is everything I just said.
No, and that was all. I mean, dude, I fucking like had a belt in the fucking. I almost fucking did it myself right after the second day. All right. I mean, I really thought about it. I fucking was sitting in the hotel room. I wasn't even allowed to go back home because I got locked out. So I was sleeping in a hotel for a few days, just by myself, and like it was very tempting. It was, dude. I was like, dude, fucking like. Obviously, I'm just not meant for any of this kind of thing. That's what I was thinking, But that I don't know, that glimmer of hope that I got from fucking AA at the time and my sponsor, like that's what, and my kids, above all else at that time, kept me going. And I had to really, really, really hyper focus on that strong why. You know what I mean? Because otherwise. Yeah, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. But
that's what I tell people, man. How you don't realize sometimes, unless it's you, how important it is for you to believe in other people and tell them I believe in you, dude. You can do it.
That's sometimes all it takes is that one.
Because you don't even believe it.
Yeah.
About yourself sometimes. I don't believe it about myself. But when you come and say, "Hey, Barry, come on, buddy."
I actually tell my clients this all the time when they fucking lack their own self-belief. I tell them straight up, like, look, I'm going to believe in you until you believe in yourself. I tell them that every time. And I told my Marines the same shit, you know what I mean? And because that is what people need, is just knowing that somebody is rooting for them. Somebody's there.
So you're at an all-time low, you're suicidal, you're literally hanging a belt from the ceiling and contemplating. What was going through your mind? Is it like your life is flashing before your eyes? You're feeling like I'm a screw up. I was never going to be any good, my childhood, and now all this?
Yeah, I just felt like I'd didn't deserve any of it anymore at that point. You know, I just felt like I'd fucking lacked so much gratitude. I was like, I don't even deserve this anymore. Like, I was just ready to just throw in the towel. That's what it was.
Well, you
It was
already had
that
your
one.
business, right?
I did already have my business.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you already had your business. Obviously, you had tribulations throughout your career. At which point do you go from like, man, I'm having all of these troubles, but like kind of like what he said, let me go ahead and start a business. Like, what made you do that?
Dude, that's a great question. I just knew that I was meant for more. I knew that, you know, from all the impact that I'd already made on, you know, from people online and the feedback that I was getting, like, bro, like, why don't you start doing this and that and that?
Because you were jacked.
Like,
I'm guessing you like.
yeah,
You're
no,
I saw
Albert's
pictures.
flexing.
Listen,
Albert.
I did my research on him, and I went like way back, and I saw it's like, yeah, dude, like
Dude,
you're skinny
Tristan-
now for where how you
Oh,
look
yeah,
like
no,
when you were in the
Tristan
military.
is a buff nugget. Okay, and that's his nickname from the block. Okay,
I like
I'm
that.
kidding.
So like, well, what time do you go there? Because there's people, you know, that get told that all the time. Man, you should start doing this. But what made you actually want to do it?
bro,
Can you
it
pinpoint it?
was my kids, I'd say, like, and really just like my vision on the future. Like, I always knew, like, dude, I've manifested my entire life. I mean, I can honestly say that, like, because you're never going to achieve anything that you can't feel and believe that you're already there.
Yeah.
You already need to, like my favorite saying, I created this one. I don't know if you've ever heard it before, but in order to receive, you must become, right? So in order to receive, you must become. You must become that person in all ways, the attributes, everything, personality, in order to possess that person that you want to be and the things that person has, right? And like, I've just become so good at visualizing exactly where my life will be 5 years, 10 years down the road, to the point where I can smell it. I can see it. I can taste it. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been me. And because of that, like, I can honestly say I've manifested everything. Like, I live in a high rise in downtown San Diego now, bro. Like, I mean, I can see the Coronado Bridge in Petco Park from my balcony. Like, I mean, dude, it's sick, bro.
So
like,
we're gonna
and
be there
I've
next
always
week.
We need more
Come through.
videos
Yeah.
on his balcony.
Yeah, no. We going there next
Tristan's
week. Not to
even
his
home.
house.
We're
not to-
recording a
our
podcast. He's
next
like, what are you
guest.
guys doing here? This is weird. This is so weird. Oh my god, dude! No, I remember when Tristan started posting, dude, about his business, because he was still on active duty, and I think I was getting ready to retire. And dude, he puts on his story. It was like 3 months or something. I don't even. It was a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it was like $45,000. Bam! And I'm like, he's like, posted it on his story. I was like, I remember hitting him up. I'm like, hey dog, like what? Like, did you kill some people and stuff?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you started your business. Obviously, like you were super hyper focused based on what you're telling us on the why, because obviously you have all this other negative shit going on, and this goes by something that I saw earlier today. Before things get good, they're gonna get worse. And I felt like that was it, man. Like
the
I don't
housing
know. I don't know
market.
if you're spiritual. I don't know if you're spiritual. Don't get me started now in the housing market. But like I don't know if you're spiritual or not. But like, God sends their biggest battles to the best warriors. You know, and I felt that's what it was, because think about the impact that you're making now on hundreds of lives and possibly thousands of lives. now.
Definitely thousands.
Yeah, definitely thousands of lives that you're gonna make now because of your testament, you know. And God gave you, in my opinion, and I'm not really that. I don't even know why I'm saying this, to be honest with you, because I'm not even that spiritual. Okay, but like, I don't know, for some reason, man. Like, these are the words that are coming to my mouth right now. It's like, God gave you that battle, man, because He knew that you were going to be able to go through it, and you were gonna be able to keep prophesizing on other people's lives that need it more than you.
That's deep.
And it makes you
You know?
a lot more equipped to be able to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's like, you know, we all, and I'm guilty of this. I want smooth sailing every day. but that's not what makes us grow
Yeah.
and get better, right? We don't learn life's lessons that way. And like I always say, man, you wouldn't know the good days if you didn't have the bad ones.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's facts.
Yeah. So,
That's facts.
so, at what time did you say, man? Was there ever a moment in your career once you started your business that you were like, yeah, I don't need the Marine Corps anymore?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
was there a point that you were making more money outside while you were inside of the Marine Corps with your business than your Marine Corps paycheck?
Way more, bro.
Really?
that was a lot of whys on there. Way.
Yeah, way more.
Way. I mean, while I was active duty, my top month was 50K.
Hello.
Wow.
While being active duty.
What was that like? Were you just like, what?
I mean, bro, at that point, like I was so
It's just
accustomed to
numbers.
it. It's just numbers. I mean, I'm playing like real life Monopoly at this point because I invest a lot of money too. You know what I mean? Like I've at this point over the last 3 years since I started my coaching business, alone probably around 6 figures into personal development and growing my own brand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. Like with my content alone, like I put money into that. Anything that I want to be the best at, I have to. I mean, you have to put dollars behind, right? You just do.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth is, brother.
Wow. Yeah, that's
facts,
okay. So that's super deep. Now, you're making more money. You make the decision of transitioning out of the Marine Corps. How was that transition? You knowing that you're already making bank.
I mean, it was still stressful in its own ways, just because, like, bro, when I drove off the gates of Camp Pendleton for the last time. I mean, it was weird. It was a weird feeling because I was institutionalized, bro. Like, it's all I knew from pretty much, like, my whole adult life. Like, literally my whole adult life. I had one weekend after high school as a civilian, and then I was in the Marine Corps. Like, that's all I know is the Marine Corps. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I've learned how to, and that's pretty much, dude, I still just treat myself as I'm a Marine now. Like, when I got out, like, I grew out my hair, dyed it, and just fucked around a little bit, grew out a long beard, but I felt very out of tune with myself regardless, because I am, at the end of the day, a fucking Marine. That's just how I feel, and that's how I best identify with myself and feel like myself, is by presenting myself in a way that a Marine would.
That's why we say that, man. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
No, it's facts, bro.
You know,
Like,
and on that, I mean, just for everybody out there, we're all Marines right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, to some people-
you recruited Jose.
Yeah.
You
Shout out to Jose. Let's
and
go.
me.
Boom, boom,
Boop, 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 boop. You and me. If there's like some Puerto Rican, I know that's more. I know that's probably racist. You guys are gonna get me, and that's okay. Don't point. Don't point. Right? See what he? See how he does me? You know what you do.
You know why
You
it's funny.
know.
You know why it's
You
funny.
know. He knows.
You know. Yeah.
And
Go
then
ahead.
Albert hits me up for the podcast. Here we are in the A to B podcast. My business, and we talked about this. I wouldn't be here without Tristan. I would never have started my business without Tristan. Never in a million years. Tristan is the one guy single-handedly who not only encouraged me, okay? Tristan, you encouraged me, bro. You motivated me.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get emotional. I'm trying to hold it together because I'm being for real, man. Like this, my life is completely different because of Tristan King, because of you, dog. Tristan sat down. He gave me everything. He gave me all the platforms. He showed me how to use it. He sat on the phone. He was like on call with me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. And now I'm doing great, and I'm financially free because of you. And we're all Marines right here.
That's
You know,
exactly
people
what I'm
always
doing.
say, "Oh, it's not all about who you know." I disagree, dog. I really do disagree. Because if I wouldn't have had a Tristan King, you're still helping me to this day. We got more stuff in the works. I'm gonna have that business meeting on Friday. Tristan just closed a deal today for $8,000. We're all U.S. Marines. We all came from nothing.
Yeah, but I want to say this, right? What advice would you give? I'm sorry, my Hispanic accent sometimes comes out.
I didn't want to say nothing, man, because y'all already think I'm racist. Y'all already think I'm racist out here.
Hey, so okay, what advice would you give? What advice would you give to staff sergeant right now, a gunny that's institutionalized, like you said? And he keeps telling people, oh, well, the military, you ain't shit if you are, without the military or without the Marine Corps, without the Army. What advice would you give to them to give to their junior service members?
Oh, bro. I mean, it would start with like, do some more personal development. Like, I mean, start like encourage your junior Marines to do more personal development and find out more about who their true authentic self is, right? Because one, I feel like that's going to make them better leaders and better Marines as a whole if they're more in tune with their own identity personally and not just the Marine Corps' identity. Because at that point, I mean, yes, it holds its place. Like, we must be a Marine through and through, right? And a Marine obviously holds himself in a very specific manner. It's what makes them Marines. But at the same time, I don't want my Marines to think that they're not shit without the Marine Corps. That's not right, in my opinion, either. Yeah. So how do we get them to, do outside, educate themselves outside the Marine Corps, right? Like, figure out, like, what is going to get them set up for when either they get out at 4, 10, 20, doesn't matter. What is going to get them set up to where they can have a smooth transition and they don't feel like they needed the Marine Corps in order to be successful or even be themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And
I gotta say something, because if one of my staff and SEALs did that, I'd want to choke the piss out of them. And I'm gonna be real. But you know why? Because what did we just talk about? How important it is for someone else to believe in you. What's the biggest mistake that I personally, one of them, I see people make in the real world? Okay, it's self-limitations, right? I talk to people every day. Hey, how much weight do you want to lose? They really want to lose 40 pounds, but you know what they're going to tell you?
20.
20. Because they don't really believe that they've already limited themselves, man. You know why most things in life are hard? Because we think they're going to be hard before we ever make the first move.
That is a fact. And that I experienced that a lot in the Marine Corps, because every single time I was like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this thing. And that's one of the self-limitations that happen a lot in the Marine Corps. And let's say, for example, and I'm going to say I'm very different, but the reason why I ask all these questions, guys, and it's because I have somebody very close to me. He's my cousin. I want to give him a shout out. He's a drill instructor right now in MCRD San Diego.
We already know he's amazing. And handsome.
And he puts him through a lot of self-limitations. He's probably going to hate me me talking to him about the podcast. But he puts himself through a lot of self-limitations.
Like what?
He didn't think that he was going to be able to do... He was scared shitless when he went to the DI field. Mm-hmm. Because he thought that he wasn't going to be able to do it. He was scared. He's an MAIT as well.
Scared of failure.
He was scared that he wasn't going to pass his... But I always encourage him, fucking do it. Stop. This was literally the advice that I gave him. Stop being a little fucking bitch. Nobody in our family has ever done what you're doing. Me as a Marine, he always looked up to me. I was like, brother... You're a drill instructor. I wasn't a drill instructor. I wasn't a freaking MAIT. Like, you're doing way more, and you're not realizing that you're opening the gates for you to be greater than my grandpa, than my dad, and myself, which we all serve in the military. Mm-hmm. But it's all those self-limitations. And something that me in my personal life that I come to realize is every single time that I go past those self-limitations and I'm there, I'm like, man, this shit wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Well, not only that, but it's like when you sit there and you tell yourself, I couldn't make that money. I couldn't drive that car. I couldn't get her. I couldn't get him. I couldn't get this job. I couldn't have that career. Who else is saying that other than you?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Well,
you're the only one.
And it starts with a comment, because let me tell you how it started with me. When I was very young, I'm talking about young in the Marine Corps. It was like you talk to the wrong people. And one piece of advice that I will give absolutely everybody, just because they're the same rank as you does not necessarily mean that they share the same goals as you. So a lot of people think that just because, oh, well, he's a corporal, he's my peer. Yeah, he might be your peer in the Marine Corps, but if you have completely separate life goals and you share your life goals with that individual, I promise you 9 times out of 10, you're going to walk out of there like you don't want to do something. Just because what you want to do might not necessarily be the right, the wrong thing, but just because you shared it with either your peer as a corporal or as a sergeant, or you shared it with one of your higher ups, and that higher up shares a completely different view of life, you're gonna feel that it's not going to be the right thing. And that's actually something that I'm actually trying to work on. I'm trying to work on bringing like-minded individuals into the same freaking room,
Bro,
because
successful.
that's the hardest part in the military.
Dude, and here's the question you need to ask yourself. If I take your advice, am I going to end up like you? Right? And that's something that I stole that from Wes Watson, because shout out to Wes Watson out there, man. That guy is crushing it. He's never, Wes, dude, if you talk to, and I know you have, I've talked to Wes, he will never tell you can't do it. He's never going to say that. He'll call you out.
Right.
He'll call you out on your BS, but he's not going to tell you, that he doesn't believe in you. Let's go. Align your habits with the man or the woman that you want to be. That's it, dude. That is literally it. You can see the end. I want to be here. I'm going to make this money. Are you aligning your actions with making that money? Are you aligning your habits? If the answer is no, you're lying to yourself. That's what you're doing.
Now, this is something I'm going to share personally, right? And both of you, I think both of you guys, we spoke a little bit off camera about it, but I want both of you guys to give me your honest answer, okay? I'm doing good right now whenever it comes to, I'm working on my relationships, like me and my wife are really good, but I'm still working to be a better, you never stop working on being a better father, a better husband, right? So I'm still working on that. Now, I have a lot of things that are going on whenever it comes to my professional career, but I want to ensure that I'm also healthy. I don't think there's better people to ask than you two, because obviously this is what you guys do on a regular basis. If you were to have somebody like me, oh man, he's doing good or whatever, what would be your number one question that you would ask like someone like me that's just trying to stay healthy? Because I was super healthy when I was in the Marine Corps. I'm talking about healthy as in like I used to exercise and maintain myself to the standard. But now I got out, man, and like I was telling you guys, this little thing called a chicho right here, a little panza that is coming in, and I'm very self-conscious about it. Because that's not, I want to be comfortable in my own body. So what would be the advice that you would give to somebody like me?
Yeah, Tristan, you want to take it and then I'll go?
Yeah, so
be brutally honest though. I can take it.
So your question is like you're not confident and you want to change but you don't know where to start.
I'm confident in like my professional career, but I'm not confident in like my personal, how I look.
Well, I'll tell you right now, brother, you cannot be present unless you're proud of your presence, right? So it doesn't matter how confident you think you are in all other areas. If you're not physically confident with the body you're walking around with day by day, then you're going to be limited in all other areas of your life, point blank, period. Right? And you might not even realize it. Like, sure, there's a lot of successful men and women out there that, financially free, successful, right? Yeah. But they are not fucking confident to take their shirt off at the beach. Like, why would you? Me personally, I would rather be shredded and broke than fat and rich, honestly.
Really?
I would. Yeah, no, I fucking, money doesn't hold that much weight. Like, for me, no, I care more about my physical presence. Because if that's not in check, dude, money, nah, bro. That's where it starts. And for me, yeah, I would tell you straight up, man, that's the truth, is you are never going to be present with your family, your friends, your relationships, everything that you have and you care about, unless you're physically proud of the presence you put out. And if you don't take yourself seriously, then no one else is going to take you seriously either.
Yeah, I love that answer. So here's what you've already given me the answer. I already know that by you asking that question, it doesn't matter what else you do in any other area, you're not going to be happy with the one person you got to live with every second of the day of every second of your life, which is you. It's you. And so my question to you would be, how long can you live with that feeling? Because that feeling is never going to go away until you do one thing: take action. And your mission in this world is to make yourself the man that you're proud of and then give that person to the world. Yeah. That's your mission.
Yeah, and both great answers. Now, I try, and I'm actively taking steps for it. Like I'm ever since, I would say like a month ago, I started.
Master Yoda says there is no try, only do.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So I've and when I mean I try, like I've taken actionable
Sure.
steps, you know.
Got it.
But something that I probably you guys don't get asked a lot, and I'm gonna get you with this one with a curveball. I have a kid. My kid, he loves to eat. He's very active. He's not fat, but he's very active. What advice would I give to my kid so that way he is not, he is very physically active? Because I like, how do I motivate him? Like my
That's
question is
an
like,
easy
how do I
one, man.
motivate him?
That's an easy one. Your kids will never do what you say. They're gonna do what you do, and that's all. That's it, dog.
Yeah.
If my son, I was walking back from the mailbox one day, and I've told Tristan this story a million times, and he's, dude, out of nowhere. Okay, I never said no, because people look at me, they look at a Tristan, and they just think we must shame everybody that we go out to eat with. You're gonna eat that? Like, oh my gosh, you fucking what a joke, right? Or I'm just talking down on you because you don't go to the gym. No, man, no. I want to encourage you. All right. Anyways, I didn't say nothing to my son. Nothing. We're walking back from getting mail one day. He goes, "Dad, how do I get arms like yours?" And dude, that was like a proud, it may sound silly to y'all, but it was a proud dad moment for me. Christian, I love you. Yeah. Fitness is something that's helped me my entire life. When nobody else is there, fitness is there because I can't escape my own depression, my own thoughts, and you got to set that example for your family, man. That's it. There is no advice.
Yeah. No, it's one of my favorite things to say as well is like, we don't tell people what to do, we show them what to do. And that, is so much louder than any voice can be. Straight up. Is just leading by example, just being the person that you want your kids to be. Because first and foremost, like in sociology, like we are as parents, we are the first setting the example for these kids. And then you have like their friends and students, teachers, whatever. But like first and foremost, like if you want better for your kids, then you gotta do better for yourself,
Got you. Well, I definitely appreciate that that knowledge, guys, and I definitely appreciate you being here, Tristan, with us,
Thank you for
sharing your
having me,
knowledge,
man.
man, and overall sharing your experience, man. Because the experience, like nobody, I think that we've had on the podcast. I don't know if we've asked the right questions or not, but you were very open from the get go into sharing exactly the nitty gritty of how you felt and the tribulations that you had to go through with your life. And I know there's gonna be people out there that are going to relate with that, and that's what I hope people relate to that, and then that they see that it is possible, because we lose way too many people on a daily basis
Yeah.
to suicide, depression, doing stupid stuff. And I'm not necessarily talking about suicide, but we lose too many people also mentally because they don't have a Tristan King that they can look up to. So or a Christian Bull too.
Yeah. Let me ask you something real quick. I know you came out recently and you told everybody, hey, I used to take all these steroids and stuff like that. And now you're on testosterone replacement. What's that like? What have you noticed? Not just physically, because I know everybody thinks about the physical aspect, but like emotionally, mentally.
Well, way more mental clarity right off the bat, right? Because you don't really realize it, but when you're running all these different compounds, right, you get brain fog, you just feel just lethargic sometimes, and obviously temper can come about, and you don't really feel like your true authentic self, in my opinion. Like that's my personal experience. So when I got off of all that, like I actually felt less body dysmorphia vice when I was running gear, because like when you are running gear, you're running all these compounds, it's like you're chasing a dragon you can never catch.
What all were
know
you
what I'm saying?
taking? Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, no, I mean I've ran Sustanon, Mastron, Tren, Equipoise, Anavar, Winnie. Usually when I was like big and shredded, it would be Sus, Mass, Winnie, Tren Blend, and then Yeah, that was.
Did you ever have any health scares, like, or maybe even just like?
I mean, no, I got blood work done on the regular for the most part. I mean, could have been a little bit better, I'd say, at sometimes, but since my last panel, even after everything, and I got back on the TRT, levels for everything are very normal.
So
Nothing
you're still
crazy.
on testosterone, but now you're on like what I take, which is testosterone replacement therapy.
Right.
Because there's like a lot of misconceptions. People think, oh, you're on TRT, you're abusing drugs. It's like,
That's no.
what would you say to those people?
I mean, I would just simply say, just like, just for lack of better terms, educate yourself. Go out there and learn about, the male hormones, right, and the body itself, and ultimately, like, after you've ran so many different other compounds for a while, you getting yourself back up to natural levels can take years, or sometimes may never even happen. So, like, just getting yourself back up to a regular natural level, that's not in any way, shape, or form using steroids or doing anything that's like significantly performance enhancing in general. It's just keeping it's literally testosterone replacement therapy.
Right. Like you're getting like my testosterone, I want to say when I got my blood work done, it was like 300.
Right, which is low for a man.
Which is very low, right?
Yeah.
But my primary care would be like, oh, you're fine. You're 43. And I'm like, I feel like crap,
Right.
And then when I got on testosterone replacement, now I'm sitting between 900 and 1,000,
Which
which
right where you wanna
is
be.
just what you just said. That's like
That's optimal
male hormone level. It's not, we're not abusing steroids, none of that.
Right.
What would you say? So you feel TRT is way better?
Oh, I'd say absolutely. I mean, like, even unless you're gonna get on stage and fucking think you're gonna compete against those guys, I mean, there's no reason to abuse all that shit. There's really not. I mean, like, more than likely, just some simple TRT for a lot of individuals that are overweight, because testosterone levels play a huge role in weight loss for men. I mean, it does. It's just facts. And most
So
of
if
the
you
time,
take TRT, you would lose weight too?
Well, what he's talking about, so the higher your testosterone is, okay, the lower your body fat's going to be. The higher your body fat is, the lower your testosterone is going to be.
the ratio goes like that. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Now, this is the very last question that I want to ask you guys. What advice do you have for that sergeant, maybe even staff sergeant? They're sitting at 10 years right now, and they're considering transitioning out of the military. Obviously, both of you guys have two very successful business. What advice would you give to the service member right now that is looking to do something with their life outside of the military? And when do you recommend that they start?
I mean, now. If you plan on getting out now, don't even think about it. Like, if you are for sure made up your mind you are getting out of the Marine Corps or military in general, now start whatever you want to do now. Like, get your foot in the door, because you do not want to be scrambling fucking after your EAS or whatever, right? You just collected your last paycheck from the Marine Corps and you got nothing at this point, right? Because you gave every last bit of your time to the Marine Corps or the military, whatever branch you're in, right? Now you're fucked. Like, you need that time to transition. You do. And, like, if you have good leadership, they should afford you that time. I mean, especially the fact that you've given so much of your time to the military, right? I think that last year, you deserve that time. So,
Yeah.
as a good leader, I would hope give their Marine or soldier or whatever that time.
We always say you got to have a plan, but you got to have the money, right? Having money's not everything, but not having it is. And when you don't have money, you really limit your choices. You could really be under the gun, depending on what your situation is. You got a wife, you got some kids, you got bills to pay, so you really want to have that money. But like Tristan said, man, now. You want to start something, you start it now. There's an old Chinese proverb, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time? Today. You got to do it today, man. All right?
And the number one thing that I would say to service members are looking to transition out of the military and start their own business or become entrepreneurs is you got to have your priorities set straight. Because one of the most common excuse, really, because it's just an excuse, is I don't have any time. I'm always at
Yeah.
the field. I'm always doing something, and it's okay. We understand, but there's 24 hours in the day. And I can guarantee you that at least 30 minutes to an hour you can take out of your busy schedule in order for you to do something. Like, let me put you an example, just a quick example. I have a sergeant right now. He is a real estate investor. Legit straight up real estate investor. He has a second job during the weekends, and I'm sure I'm after just right after this podcast, I'm taking him to see homes in the afternoon when he gets off of work. A lot of people, a lot of the service members that might be watching this, well, I don't have time for me to do this. No, it's not that you don't have time. It's just that it's not a priority, and that's okay. Just because you're not lying to anybody else, you're just simply lying to yourself about what your priorities should be. So get your head on straight on what your actual priorities are, and then you will figure out that the luckier you will start getting it. That's what I realized. It's like, oh man, I got lucky. I got this house under contract. No, it's like you work for that because you establish your priorities. So Tristan, brother, I definitely appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom. Where can people find you at?
If you're looking to find me, Instagram is my number one. You find me at Tristan M King _. Again, that's Tristan M King _. I always have some sort of call to action in my bio if you're looking for coaching or just really networking or any kind of collaborations. I'm always available. And then my TikTok as well. I don't really use it as much, but I am starting to be more frequent. That one's at King the Coach. Any other one out there, Instagram, anything, it's all fake, it's all bullshit. I only have those 2 accounts. That's it. All right? So, yeah, with that said, that's the best place you can find me.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Barry, where can people reach out to you?
Instagram at Bull5277, TikTok at Bull52772. I love interacting with you. All right, hit me up, shoot me a DM, drop me a comment. I really appreciate you. And like I said earlier, I believe in you. And I'm going to steal from Tristan. I'll believe in you until you believe in yourself. I'm the type of guy that's always going to pray with you, stay with you, and slay with you, man. All right? Hit the link in the bio. The call is free. The change will last you a lifetime.
Guys, and as always, you guys know that you guys can reach out to me. Go ahead and like this video, share this video with a friend that might benefit from this content that we're releasing. And on top of that, make sure that you're subscribed or watch any of the videos that are going to be popping up right here in your screen. I will see you guys in the next episode. Let's go.
That's it.